In Arsenal's chase to bring back Champions League football to the Emirates, our attack is going to be vitally important. So let's find out today if Mikel Arteta has hinted at a potential new front four. Also, has Joao Felix been offered to the Gunners, and what update do we have on Takahiro Tomiyasu? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bass14. Welcome back to your boys channel. A happy Gooner talking to you out of New York City. And yeah, smash a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, help your boy as we have just hit 75k and closing into 80k. And let's get straight into this. Into the Arsenal news, and starting off with Arsenal's attack. Now, what we already know is in terms of right wing, it's going to be Bukayo Saka. Attacking midfield is going to be Martin Odegaard. Left wing though, Gabriel Martinelli, Smith Rowe. So far, so we've not actually seen the four of Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka and Martinelli start. And that's because up front we've got Alexandre Lacazette. Now, you can't really fault the commitment of Alexandre Lacazette because he does work hard, he does try, and you can't really fault him for trying. And while I do think he has improved in terms of his overall hold-up play, I think when it comes to putting the ball into the back of the net, he's never been a consistent goal scorer during his time at Arsenal Football Club. But the real question here for Mikel Arteta is it possible for him to fit Martinelli, Emil Smith Rowe, Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard in the same front four? Well, in terms of Mikel Arteta, when he was asked about the possibility of them all starting in the same lineup, he says they've played together and I am tempted to do it. Yes. So confirmation from Mikel Arteta that he does see these guys as a front four and he is tempted to play them as well. While we know the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard can operate in the same team, how does Smith Rowe and Martinelli? Now, the obvious answer here is to start Pele Scoton down the middle as the centre forward. And in terms of Gabriel Martinelli, in a recent interview with The Athletic, he says, "I've played on the wings growing up, but I can play in the middle as well, or on the sides. I can do whatever the manager wants me to do." And in terms of overall movement, goal scoring prowess, and just that nous for a goal, I think Martinelli, I don't even go as far as saying it's better than Lacazette in that specific department. But my real concern with Gabriel Martinelli is his back to play goal. Is he able to drop deep to combine with the other Arsenal players? And is he able to be the Arsenal linchpin going forwards, to hold the ball up to help Arsenal progress that ball forwards? Well, you've got the obvious answer in Gabriel Martinelli. There's also another more interesting option as well, and that being potentially a false nine, Emil Smith Rowe. And the reason why I say that is because recently you've had Mikel Arteta say, in terms of Smith Rowe, he can play as a left winger, he can play as a left attacking midfielder, a right attacking midfielder, and he can play as a 9. Very, very well, I think. Now, we have actually seen this in the past, and it is the game against Villarreal, the first leg, of course, last year Europa League. Arsenal got knocked out, and in that first game, Arsenal lost that game 2-1, and Smith Rowe was a passenger going forwards. He didn't have the ability to drop deep, he wasn't able to get involved, and he didn't look like he suited the false 9 position there and then. But in terms of ESR this year, he has evolved as a player, and most importantly, evolved as a goal scorer. Overall goal contributions, Smith Rowe is Arsenal's highest player, joint with Saka, with 10 goals and 2 assists, making it overall 12. Smith Rowe is Arsenal's top goal scorer, and what he has shown this series in terms of in front of goal, he has a very good eye for a goal, he's a good finisher, and most importantly, is a very clean ball striker. And even in terms of the goals, we've seen a variation where he scored, I believe, 5 with his left foot and 6 with his right foot. But then again, you have to also understand that a lot of Smith Rowe's goals have come as a third man runner, where he's able to make a late run into the box, to find space and to score the goal, and that would not happen if he was to play as a centre forward. And I don't think he's going to start there. I think it will be Gabriel Martinelli if we are to see this fab front four. But ultimately speaking, talk to me down below in the comments what do you make of the possibility of Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Emil Smith Rowe starting together in the same front four. Do you guys think it would work, and is it something that you want to see? And if so, what players in what positions? Let's talk Martin Odegaard, because in terms of his game, by the numbers against Wolves, 56 touches, 19 passes in the final third, 4 take-ons attempted, 3 take-ons completed, 3 ground duels won, 3 crosses, 3 ball recoveries and 1 chance created. What a player that us Arsenal fans have here, and the price tag of £30 million, I will thank Real Madrid every single day, and he's growing game by game. He's showing signs of leadership, he's commanding that ball, and every single Arsenal attack goes through him. Even the game against Wolves, the 2 goals Arsenal scored, the first goal was very underrated. It's Odegaard's pass over the top to find Nketiah. If Arsenal give Martin Odegaard's runners, players that make runs up behind like Eddie in that moment, Martin Odegaard is going to thrive. Now, back in the summer, of course, I made myself very clear that I did like a certain James Maddison, but in terms of Martin Odegaard, never against the signing, and I always said if Arsenal signed him, I'd be very happy. And this is why, because I see the potential, and I didn't think he had the goal scoring prowess, but thankfully Smith Rowe stepped up in the department instead. At 22 years of age, the potential is insane, and what he could become for me is just very exciting. Moving on to Nicolas Pepe. Well, in terms of Mikel Arteta, after the game, he says, "I told you last week, I see a different Nico. I don't know, it's his energy, his happiness, his all-round play, how he's training. I was convinced that he could come on and do something for the team. He's on the right path, and when you're able to do that and contribute to the team, you're going to get more minutes. The more minutes you have, you need to make the most out of them in training every single day and show what you can do. He has the ability to do it. Are we about to witness a remontada of Nicolas Pepito? Nicolas Pepe, personally, I would love to see that. And every time he enters the fray, when he's allowed to enter that final third in front of goal, he's normally an ice cool finisher. So when I see a lot of Arsenal fans that kind of render this player useless, I think there's talent there to be got at. And in terms of Arsenal, if we want to make the Champions League places, if we are able to get the entire squad on the same page, players of Pepe coming off the bench, contributing, and sometimes even starting, not only will it give the team far better competitive edge, but will also allow Arsenal to win more games as well. Arteta also says Pepe had a baby last night. At 2 or 3 AM, he texted me and he said, yeah, I want to come and I want to help the team. So this thing happened, and it isn't a coincidence. It's because the togetherness and the unity is there. This just goes to show how united this Arsenal team is and how they're actually playing for the manager, where Pepe hasn't been starting, hasn't been playing minutes, and he could have easily got very frustrated. But he's gone to AFCON, had a very good tournament, come back to Arsenal, said to the manager, I'm here and I want to be held accountable. But let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments on Nicolas Pepe, and do you think he has a part to play in Arsenal's race for the Champions League places? Are we going to see a Pepito remontada? Okay, moving on, let's discuss Joao Felix. Atletico Madrid's Portuguese wonder boy actually scored against Man United in the Champions League, playing in a front two alongside Angel Correa. I saw a lot of positive signs of Felix, causing a very experienced Champions League centre-back like Rafa Varane quite a few issues. But of course, in terms of the manager Diego Simeone, according to reports in Spain at least, he doesn't seem to be the biggest fan of Joao Felix and potentially wants to move him on. And so today, according to The Independent, Arsenal have been offered a chance to sign Atletico Madrid star Joao Felix. This actually goes hand in hand with the reports that we discussed a few days ago that Arsenal like Joao Felix, and even though he'd be very expensive if he was to become available, I think Mikel Arteta seems to be a massive fan of the type of player that he is. Now, while he can score a few goals, I don't think he's an out-and-out goal scorer. He's not an old school number 9, he is a definition of a false 9, and comparing him to a player in the Premier League, he'd be a bit like Roberto Firmino. But he's the type of striker that if Arsenal were to sign, he would allow the likes of Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Martinelli and Cole, players around him to thrive a lot more as well. He has the technique, he has pace, but he also seems to have something special about him. He has a sense of aura. But the most important factor in this transfer is the overall price tag, reportedly over £100 million. What do you guys make of Joao Felix? According to Sport in Spain, Arsenal have made a fresh approach for Real Sociedad striker Alexandre Lacazette. In terms of the player, since not signing for Arsenal, he hasn't really thrived. In fact, I don't think he's scored a single goal. In fact, it's actually been well over a month since his last goal, which is very concerning because in terms of Sociedad, they've made it very clear they want Arsenal to pay that €80 million release. Now, I'm sure Isak will become a very good player, potentially, but you don't pay €80 million just off potential alone. Maybe this is all tactics from Isak's side, trying to reduce his price tag, trying to sign for Arsenal Football Club. What do you guys make of Alexandre Isak, and do you think he's that guy to sign for Arsenal and to take us to the next level? Let's get an update on Takehiro Tomiyasu. According to Mikel Arteta, he says it's his other calf. He came back, he was training, and he felt the other calf. It is an issue because he is a professional that has given absolutely everything to help us, and in the last few months, he's not been fit. This is actually low-key very concerning, and the reason behind that is because this calf training has become a reoccurring issue, not just at Arsenal Football Club, because even if you're to go back to last year at Bologna, in the Serie A, Tomiyasu missed a lot of games with a similar type of injury. So this does seem to be a long-term injury that Tomiyasu does have, which is a concern for Arsenal because if we want to make him a centrepiece of Arsenal, a long-term starter, he's going to have to be fit and available. It is very concerning, but my fingers are crossed for Tomiyasu that he can return to full fitness, recover from this injury, put it in the past, and to play games for Arsenal Football Club. Okay, let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with Alexandre Lacazette, the guy who basically scored the winner against Wolves. It was an own goal. We're going to claim it as a Lacazette goal. He played a massive part. He did so well. And after the game, he took a bit of a shot at the Wolves players. Because via his Instagram, he posted a photo not only of him celebrating in front of Ruben Neves, but also the caption of how's that for a celebration. For the guys that aren't aware, back when Arsenal beat Wolves a few weeks ago, you had the midfielder Ruben Neves come out after the game and say how the Arsenal players were over celebrating and the fact that we celebrated like we won a league title. So clearly the Arsenal players have seen that and they took it MJ style personally, and thankfully did their talking on the pitch, ensuring they get the 3 points and ensuring they celebrated in front of the Wolves players. I mean, let's not forget, you also had Conor Cody say, we've seen the celebrations from Arsenal, and I'll be honest with you, from our point of view, we really didn't like them. Fast forward 2 weeks and here is a photo of Conor Cody after Arsenal scored their winner. The epitome of the beautiful game. This is what football is all about. Conor Cody talked the talk prior to the game, saying they were going to come to the Emirates and show Arsenal what they were about. Well, you did show Arsenal exactly what you're about. All barking, but no bite. You even have Aaron Ramsdale after the game running past Ruben Neves, putting his arms in the air, celebrating in front of him. What it is with these Arsenal players is these guys see what other players say about them. They saw what Ivan Toney said about them last week. They saw what Ruben Neves and Conor Cody said, and they take it personally. They know what it means. And that's why, you know what, I'm a massive fan of our post-game celebrations. I like to see our players being emotional when they score a goal and when we win games. They know what it means. They know how important it is. And ultimately, as a fan, that's exactly what I want to see. And talking about Wolves, here is the last 9 Premier League results. Looking at them, they've only lost 2 games and both being to Arsenal Football Club. In that run, they've beaten Man United, they've beaten Tottenham Hotspur, they've taken points against our rivals, and they gave Arsenal 6 points out of 6 as well. It has been a pleasure doing business with Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Wolves were also unbeaten in their last 45 league games in which they had opened the scoring, while going on to win 39 of these matches as well. The fact that Chelsea couldn't beat them, United couldn't beat them, Tottenham couldn't beat them, it shows that Wolves are a very decent team, and I do have a lot of respect for Bruno Lage and what he's doing there. But in terms of Arsenal, as you can see here from this graphic, we were utterly dominant. It was the first time that Arsenal had won in the Premier League under Mikel Arteta after trailing at half time. A massive win for Arsenal, and the reason being, not only did Arsenal dominate the game, but things weren't going our way. We were 1-0 down, but still we showed a lot of character. The definition of character building, and ultimately will give them more belief going into the future that if they are in a similar position, they have shown that they can get themselves out of it. And overall, here is Arsenal's form in the last 9 Premier League games. That's 7 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. 7 wins out of 9, that is Champions League form if I've ever seen it. That's up there with the best teams in the league, and we've played some decent teams there. But what about the race for the Champions League places? Well, first things first, unfortunately you had Tottenham Hotspur today, winning their game, getting 3 points and beating Leeds away 4-0. But then in more positive news, Man United dropped 2 points at home to Watford in a 0-0 draw. And this is how it leaves the table, where Arsenal still sit 5th, 2 points behind 4th place United, but with 3 games in hand. And also 3 points above 6th place West Ham and 7th place Tottenham. Tottenham won their game, which isn't things you want to see, but ultimately speaking, I'm looking up in the table right now. I'm looking at 4th and dare I say 3rd place, and I'm trying to get up the table. And even though Arsenal's games in hand are not going to be easy, in terms of United's next 3 games, it is Man City, Tottenham and Liverpool. I think what I'm trying to say is that every single team has difficult games to come, and it's not going to be easy for anyone. And even though we need to improve in these bigger games, against the teams that Arsenal should be beating, Arsenal do their business. But in terms of ex-Arsenal player Lee Dixon, he says, if I'm in that Arsenal dressing room right now, I'm not looking at Man United, I'm looking at catching Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, are in 3rd place on 50 points, Arsenal on 45, but we do have 1 game in hand that if we were to win, which is not guaranteed by the way, it would move Arsenal only 2 points behind Chelsea, above Man United with the same amount of games played. But right now we need to take it step by step. Let's get 4th place first, let's open up a gap there, and once we're sitting nice and comfortably there, then maybe, just maybe, we can make a late charge for the 3rd place as well. But talk to me down below in the comments about yourselves, and do you think Arsenal could indeed catch 3rd place Chelsea? Do you dare to believe? But that is the video around there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to smash a like on it, and also to subscribe if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was all the latest Arsenal news today, so I hope you guys have been informed. And for Arsenal now, we've got a long wait to our next game. It'll be Watford away, never easy, but for Arsenal, a massive ambition ahead. Champions League football, can we make it? We're gonna have to wait and see. I'll see you next time though, in a bit.